It's the news at noon. In the news, Vice President Yemi Osinbajo launches scheme for young Nigerians in technology and creative sectors. INEC Chairman Mahmood Yakubu says Commission will prosecute electoral offenders with speed. 15 governorship candidates in Akwa Ibom State signs peace accord ahead of Saturday's poll. On the foreign scene, Russia asks U.S. to halt flights near borders after drone interception. In sport, Erling Haaland scores 5 times as Manchester City beats RB Leipzig to reach Champions League quarterfinals. Details coming up shortly. Good afternoon and welcome to the news on Planet Radio 101.1 FM Uyo. I am Mary Joseph. Our first report this afternoon is that the Ministry of Police Affairs has assured of its readiness to support the assignment of the Transition Technical Task Team, TTTT, of the Presidential Transition Council, PTC. The Permanent Secretary, Ministry of Police Affairs, Abel Enitang, gave the assurance during an interactive session with the Council. The PTC delegation, led by the Senior Special Assistant to the President on Policy and Development, Ibrahim Hassan, was at the ministry's headquarters in Abuja. Enita noted that with both human and material resources, the ministry would ensure the timely submission of its report to the council. The ministry, here underscored, has said the mandate to protect Nigerians and provide a conducive environment for socio-economic development and sustainable livelihood of the citizenry. Eniton said the directive of the Secretary to the Government of the Federation, SGF, to the police include transition, security and coalition of information and on all President Muhammadu Buhari's administration policies, programs and projects. Further speaking, Ibrahim Hassan said Executive Order Number 14 of 2023, signed by the President on February 9, 2023, provides the legal framework for facilitating and managing presidential transition at the federal level. The aide said the two key documents for the 2023 presidential transition process were a compendium of policies, programs, and projects implemented in the 9 priority areas of the outgoing government. Away from that, Vice President Yemi Osinbajo has launched a $600 million program for young Nigerians in the technology and creative sectors with a call on African government and the private sector to do more to support growth of innovation in Africa. He spoke at the official unveiling of investment in digital and creative enterprises, IDICE program in Abuja. Reports say the program is to support young Nigerians aged 15 to 35 and who are entrepreneurs in early stages in creative innovation and technology-enabled ventures. Vice President Yemi Osinbajo, in his keynote address, said that it is imperative to commence a coordinated approach towards innovation on the continent, bringing together all stakeholders to coordinate efforts at scaling up investment and building programs that provide the right enabling environment and produce talent pipelines that support the growth of innovation on the continent. Osinbajo said the under IDICE constraints, such as access to capital and capacity limitations of startups, would be effectively addressed, adding that more needs to be done to scale up such programs. On electoral matters, the chairman of the Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC, Professor Mahmood Yakubu, has said that the commission is setting up a legal team to deal with cases of electoral offenders during the February 25 Presidential National Assembly polls. This was, as he said, the forthcoming governorship and State House of Assembly elections will be expectedly more demanding than the presidential polls and urged the security agencies to be on guard. The INEC boss spoke at the meeting of the Interagency Consultative Committee on Election Security in Abuja. Yakubu advised political parties to caution their supporters, threatening that the March 18th governorship and State House of Assembly elections are a contest and not war. He said INEC was looking forward to receiving electoral offenders' case files as promised by the Inspector General of Police. On his part, the National Security Advisor Babangana Mungunu described Saturday's polls as complicated but gave the assurance that security agencies would assure peace. According to him, a lot of meetings had been going on, especially with the Chief of Defense Staff and the Inspector General of Police to ensure peaceful polls. Still on electoral matters, 15 governorship candidates in Akwa Ibom State have signed a peace accord and pledged to guarantee peaceful conduct of the March 18 governorship and State House of Assembly elections in the state. The parties present, include the People's Democratic Party, the All Progressive Party, the Young Progressives Party, Labour Party, and the New Nigeria People's Party. Also at the signing were the Accord Party, All Progressives Grand Alliance, Social Democratic Party, and the African Democratic Party, among others. Speaking during the event at the command headquarters, Ikodakpanabia, the Commissioner of Police, CP Olatoye Dorosimi, urged the citizens and candidates to warn their supporters against perpetrating violence or indulging in any form of thuggery. Dorosimi noted that the peace accord was aimed at promoting peace in all aspects and making candidates ensure inflammatory comments which could ignite violence before, during, and after the polls. While promising to ensure security during the March 18 elections, the CP encouraged members of the public to come out en masse to vote for candidates of their choice without fear of molestation. Away from that, the Nigerian Labour Congress (NLC) has suspended its ongoing industrial action in Imo State. The suspension of the strike was announced by a statement issued by the NLC National President Joe Ajaero. The statement disclosed that the suspension of the strike was due to interventions made by highly respected and well-meaning Nigerians from within and outside Imo State. The statement stated that the lifting of the industrial action was to enable residents of the state vote the candidates of their choices during the Saturday's House of Assembly elections in the state. It therefore warned that if, at the end of the 2 weeks, the state government failed to reverse its anti-labor policies, NLC would resume the industrial action in the state. Back here, the gubernatorial candidate of the Labour Party in Akwa Ibom State, Uduagobon Peter Udo, has described as baseless, unfounded, and work of detractors the rumors making the rounds that he and the Labour Party have collapsed the party structure to any candidates in the forthcoming governorship elections. He said such rumors should be discarded, describing it as a handwork of desperate politicians who are intimidated by the performance of the Labour Party in the just concluded presidential election. Udo made the assertion during the expanded meeting of the Obi Dati Movement, Labour Party, and the Uduagobon Peter Udo campaign organization. He used the occasion to promise Akwa Ibom people of a dawn of a new era in governance where all contentious issues in Akwa Ibom's policy will be addressed within the first 100 days in office. The gubernatorial candidate said as a Labour Party conscious party, payment of gratuity and pension will never be counted as an achievement, but a routine activity of government. He promised to actualize the Ibaka deep-sea port with the retention of its original name, patronage of indigenous contractors, empowerment of market women through low-interest loans, education and agricultural revolution, and turning Akwa Ibom into a tourism heaven. Speaking earlier, the Director General of the Obidati Movement and Presidential Campaign Council of Peter Obi, Captain Augustine Okon, said it was pertinent to call a meeting of the movement in order to thank Akwa Ibom people for the massive support they gave to Peter Obi in Akwa Ibom, and said the legal unit of the council is working with the national to reclaim the mandates given to Peter Obi by Nigerians. Captain Okon berated a group he referred to as dissident who choose to betray themselves by collecting money from politicians to endorse same using the Obidati movement, saying such persons should be ignored. Captain Okon said the Labour Party has a young, energetic candidate who is nearly all the attributes of Peter Obi and is poised to take over power after the election on Saturday in the person of Uduagobong Peter Odo, and enjoined every Akwa Ibom person to vote Labour Party in the forthcoming election. Meanwhile, many people who turned out expressed their readiness to vote for Uduagobong Peter Odo, since Peter Obi is expected to reclaim his mandate through legal means. You're listening to the news on Planet Radio 101.1 FM Uyo. Let's take a breather and then bring you more stories from our foreign, sports, and entertainment scenes. Do stay with us.
Healthy living begins with the choices one makes. Choosing to live healthy is the first step to healthy living. Join us Sundays 1:30 to 2 p.m. for Healthway, awareness for healthy choices.
Many thanks for staying with us. Now on the foreign scene, Russia ambassador to the United States, Anatoly Antovio, has called on Washington to stop hostile flights near his country's border after an American drone was intercepted by Russian fighters over the Black Sea. Recall that a Russian fighter jet dumped fuel on an American drone over the Black Sea and then collided with it, causing the drone to crash. The U.S. European Command said 2 Russian Su-27 fighters intercepted the unmanned MQ-9 Reaper over international waters, and one clipped its propeller. Russia's defense ministry said it scrambled fighters' jet following the detection of a U.S. drone over the Black Sea, but denied causing it to crash. In sports, Erling Haaland rewrote the record books by scoring an incredible 5 times as Manchester City swept RB Leipzig aside to reach the Champions League quarterfinals. Haaland becomes the finest and fastest youngest player to reach 30 goals in Europe Elite Club competition. He is also the youngest player to score 5 times in a single Champions League game, joining Argentina great Lionel Messi and Brazil forward Luis Adriano as the only players to do so. The 22-year-old is now on 39 goals for the season in all competitions, the first City player to reach the figure in a single campaign. His 5 hat-tricks are 3 more than any other player in the Big 5 leagues. On our entertainment scene, Nigerian music star Adekunle Kosoko, professionally known as Adekunle Gold, is out to join the League of Nigerian Artists, breaking grounds internationally. According to reports, the high crooner has officially signed with popular American music label Def Jam's Recordings. This was made known in a statement by the company's chief executive officer and chairman, Tunji Balogun. In the release, Balogun hailed Kosoko for his songwriting artistry, vocals, and showmanship. Balogun revealed that he had planned to bring Def Jam label into the Afrobeat space as soon as he started working at the label in 2022. Gold also expressed excitement on signing with the label and getting to work with Balogun, especially with their shared Nigerian roots. It's been the news on Planet Radio 101.1 FM Uyo, but before we go, a quick recap of the major stories. In the news this afternoon, we brought you reports that Vice President Yemi Osinbajo has launched a $600 million program for young Nigerians in the technology and creative sectors, with a call on African governments and the private sector to do more to support growth of innovation in Africa. The chairman of the Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC, Professor Mahmood Yakubu, has said that the commission is setting up a legal team to deal with cases of electoral offenders during the February 25 presidential and National Assembly polls. We also brought you reports that 15 governorship candidates in Akwa Ibom State have signed a peace accord and pledged to guarantee peaceful conduct of the March 18 governorship and State House of Assembly elections in the state. On the foreign scene, we told you that Russia's ambassador to United States, Anatoly Antonov, has called on Washington to stop hostile flights near his country's border after an American drone was intercepted by Russia's fighters over the Black Sea. In sports, reported that Erling Haaland rewrote the record books by scoring an incredible 5 times as Manchester City swept RB Leipzig aside to reach the Champions League quarterfinals. For comment and coverage of your newsworthy events, call our newsroom on 0812-770-2940. Visit our website at planet101fm.ng and follow us on Twitter at planet_101fm. Also like our Facebook page at Planet101FM Uyo. The news was edited by Isaiah Udo and Jane Uwa. As we end the news, election reminds us not of only our rights and responsibilities as citizens in democracy, but that voting is how we participate in a civil society as citizens, and the importance of our voices. It is not opinion polls that determine the outcome of elections, but votes in ballot boxes. Akwa Ibom people, this Saturday, March 18, 2023, makes your choice and also your voice heard. Be part of deciding who becomes your next leader through your votes. I am Mary Joseph. Good afternoon.